and continue to focus on our institutional drivers of people, purpose, and place. If you have been hired or changed departments since winter convocation, which was on January 18th, would you please stand for a warm Tiger welcome? You know, sometimes I think we get so caught up and busy with all the work and the things that we need to do that we forget to stop and smell the roses, so to speak, or to take a breath and really celebrate the extraordinary work we're doing. So once again, let's take a moment to do this this afternoon as we highlight just a sampling of some of our spring achievements. So if this, my hand, represented our spring achievements, you're going to see my pinky. I love all the cheering. Thanks for helping us celebrate this awesome university. We're going to practice again, make sure everybody claps. I've continued to send out campus updates through cabinet minutes as well as campus emails regarding some really important initiatives and the work we're doing, as well as to share and reinforce key messages through our three convocations, fall, winter, and spring. What's really important to me is that you have an informed understanding about key initiatives and the decisions being made. So I'm going to highlight a few from this spring semester. Of course, a major initiative has been the search for our next provost. Earlier today, I received a list of unranked finalists from the search committee as well as campus written feedback. I will spend this weekend thoroughly reviewing the feedback, checking in with some key constituents, and further vetting the finalists, enabling me to make a decision on the right person to serve Fort Hays State University with me at this particular point of time. Although this slide indicates that I'll begin the hiring process and making the announcement to the campus the week of May 13th, it is possible that that announcement may come sooner. I really want to thank the search committee. They did a great job. They worked hard. If you are a member of the search committee, will you please stand and allow us to thank you with our claps? Almost every member of the search committee, in one way or another, when they sent me their individual thorough feedback, said if there was a search committee chairperson of the year, it would be Deb Ludwig. So Deb. I also want to pause and to note that in working with the search consultant, we learned some new best practices in balancing sharing candidate information with the campus while being less public, which was beneficial to the candidates and ultimately to Fort Hays State University. So I want to thank you for your patience as we shifted to these new practices. The legislature. Let me tell you something. Today has been quite the day. There's been texts, there's been phone calls, there's been extraordinarily good news, news that has been roller coaster, but you know that's what the legislature is, that's the way we do business. But let's get back to the highlights. The governor recommended $8.9 million for higher education. The Budget Conference Committee then came in and agreed to an additional $7.5 million. Earlier this week, both the House and the Senate Budget Committees agreed to add an additional $12 million for higher education. This has been extremely encouraging, but as I learn and ride the roller coaster, please remember that the mega budget decisions are still in process, so no guarantees yet. There is word that they might get out this weekend, but like the decision, I just don't know. But when we know the answer, we will communicate. The final allocation, and it's important to understand this, will partially restore previous cuts to our state general fund. So this is not new money. We will use any dollars that we get to fund the strategic plan, support our move to market initiative, fund the merit pool, and support expansion of our social work program. Regarding a salary increase, the dollar amount, if any, it's still not resolved, so stay tuned. What's important to understand is that the 2.5% that you keep hearing in the media, or whatever percentage they might settle on, provides funding for only 1/3 of our employees, meaning that we'd have to match the other 2/3. So at 2.5%, our unfunded portion would be close to $1.5 million. I don't know where we'll land, but I want you to know that I am committed to creating a merit pool. So as a reminder, we fund merit and other adjustments, such as promotion and equity, at the start of annual appointments, and we fund move to market adjustments in January. Commencement, right around the corner. Some changes to remember. The graduate and the faculty brunch has been moved to Thursday evening. The time and date change was necessitated by the move of commencement from Friday evening to Friday morning. So if you're new to Fort Hays, the faculty brunch, which is now a dinner, honors our graduating students and faculty. So we would love for you to help us make this strong tradition a very continued success. And both Friday and Saturday commencement ceremonies will be at 9. And in December of 2019, we start a brand new tradition, which is a December commencement. I think it's really important that people have these milestones and they get to celebrate that with their families. And I know we always invite them back to May, but life happens. And so I'm excited to honor the students who want to participate. This semester, Cabinet vetted and recommended these 5 policies, and they have been approved. Please make sure that they've been shared and discussed with your department. And here's a phrase not often spoken in the halls of academy: policy rescinded. Our roadmap forward will be vested in our strategic plan. As indicated in my campus email, phases 1 to 4 are completed, and we are now working on implementation. I'm scheduled to present to the Kansas Board of Regents later this month. The presentation will seek the Regents' approval to return to our 2012 mission statement. Once the Regents approve the shift in language, we can begin to work on a public document. The implementation committee, comprised of the Gold Team co-chairs, are now working on sequence, scope, responsibility, and funding. In June, they will meet to finalize year 1 decisions. As we sustain our forward momentum, I will continue to communicate with you. If you have questions about content or process, please do visit with me. And thank you very much to many, many of you who have helped shape this plan. Another way to look at investment and purpose is through our budget decisions. So you'll see 3 slides. This first slide depicts our budgeted revenue sources for the upcoming fiscal year and indicates that our largest source of revenue is from tuition at 33%, followed by state appropriation at 24%. By far, our biggest investment is in instruction at almost 40% of our expenditures. If you look at all of the Regents' institutions, only 29.5% of budgeted expenditures is committed to instruction, proving that at Fort Hays State University, student learning is our priority. And as you can see on this slide, compensation is by far the largest portion of our budget. We know that taking care of people is essential, not only for our success, but simply because it's the right thing to do. That's why we made a 4-year commitment to invest approximately $2 million in our Move to Market initiative, pending our continued financial health. As highlighted in the legislative update, we will create a merit pool. We are also continuing to build our faculty professional development funds. Each year, we add an additional $25,000 to the fund with the goal of reaching an annual commitment of $350,000. For the upcoming fiscal year, the account will be funded at $225,000. I will come back to this in a moment. We also reviewed and approved requests for equity adjustments for 9 employees, and we invested in our people by reducing the eligibility period for tuition assistance. A bit more about faculty professional development. This year, we allocated $200,000 for the faculty professional development, doubling our commitment since 2015. We will spend approximately $205,000 on faculty development independent of department or college support. Most of the money was awarded directly to individual faculty, with about $20,000 spent on faculty development on campus. As indicated in my budget update email, these positions were approved for the 2019-2020 as mission-critical, previously prioritized requests. Moving forward, most new positions will come directly from the strategic plan. Also highlighted in the email were these 3 position adjustments. To elevate learning and be responsible stewards, we must continue to strategically invest in place. Our beautiful art and design building will be open for fall classes. We expect the department to begin moving in July. I would like to have tours of the new facility offered this summer prior to move-in, So watch for campus email. I haven't been in the building myself, and I'm very excited to do so. Also, please look for information on the grand opening, which is expected to occur with homecoming. Work continues to progress on the Acres Energy Center. The next milestone for the Fischley Wills Center for Student Success includes completing the bid process in January of 2020 and beginning construction early this spring. For Rarick, the program plan is completed and going through the state approval process. We will begin the design process in the near future. As you can see, there's going to be a lot going on this summer. So let me highlight some of those for you. We will repair the sewer lines at the East Tower and under the Cunningham Bridge, upgrade the exterior doors in the west wing of McMidas for electronic access, build new restrooms for men and women at the West Stadium of Lewis Field. For those of you going to football games, I know I'm going to get applause, right? Replace the deteriorating portion of Dwight and Lewis Fields and add accessible ramps. Update restrooms and corridors of floors 4 to 6 in the west wing of McMidas. This project will include new finishes and the removal of asbestos. Remodel the first and second floors men and women's restrooms in the Memorial Union. This project will add a new family restroom on the second floor. Repair the decks at Wooster 2 for the second and third levels. Install new LED pedestrian light poles in the quad. This is phase 5 of our exterior lighting improvement initiative. And update the Memorial Union ballroom ceiling, which also includes asbestos removal. At this time, I'm pleased to share the podium with our Senate leadership. Each president will provide a brief report of the 2018-29 accomplishments of their respective senates. So, whoever would like to come first, come on up.
Good afternoon. I am Lisa Lang and has served as the University Support Staff President for the past 2 years. And Dr. Mason, thank you for inviting me to speak this afternoon. Choice, chance, change. You must make the choice to take the chance if you want anything in life to change. And we did. For the past 2 years, the USS Senate has been working with UPS employees to amend the current USS Senate Code to change and become a University Staff Senate, in which all university support staff and unclassified professional staff employees are represented. I am pleased to announce that the vote held on April 25th passed to make this happen. Thank you. I would like to thank the current USS senators and the UPS volunteers for their help with this project. Your input, suggestions, questions, and support made this possible. So what's next? We need you to fill our Senate. You can and will meet new people. You can and will learn about the university. And if you want the chance to have a voice, you need to be involved. I know Dr. Mason wants to hear from us and wants to know what is important to us. Tuesday, May 14th is the next scheduled meeting for the Senate, and I'd like to invite any interested staff employees to attend. If you would like to serve as a senator, or you have any questions, comments, or concerns, and are unable to attend the meeting, please call or email me. Our Senate will only be as strong as we make it, and I believe that a strong voice will contribute to a stronger university. And I'd like to close with the same quote from Alan Cohen that I used at Fall Convocation. It takes a lot of courage to release the familiar and seemingly secure, to embrace the new. But there is no real security in what is no longer meaningful. There is more security in the adventurous and exciting, for in movement there is life, and in change there is power. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Adam Scheibe. I've had the privilege of serving as student body president for this academic year. It has definitely been an honor to be in this position, and it's definitely hard to see it come to an end. Just to clear the water, if anybody saw me running around campus last night, this is the exact same outfit that I had on, so I just wanted to let everyone know that it's been a busy week. In the fall, I gave you a rundown of what Kaylani and I wanted to attack and make our goals for the year and the pillars that we wanted to make a part of what we did outside of our regular operations. So those were within affordability, community, and transparency. Within affordability, we made a much larger discussion here on campus about open educational resources. We saw a bigger push, obviously from our students, but also within faculty departments and within individual faculty members across campus. It's very exciting to see that this is taken into the future, and I definitely feel comfortable with where we're leaving it as the next administration comes in. Aside from this, it has been taken up to the state level. We've been discussing it quite a bit at Board of Regents meetings, and it definitely seems to be something that we want to make a statewide initiative, and I definitely see it being that going into next year. Within community, obviously, we identified our various communities that make up Fort Hays, our campus, our Hays, our international, and our virtual communities. Within our campus community, we made it our goal to continue to be the voice of students with any concerns and to be able to present those to any faculty or administration as they come up. Within our Hays community, we had our 9th annual big event where we had about 160 volunteers complete over 20 projects. So it was a definite success, and we'd like to continue to make that grow as we go into the future. Within our international community, I actually am fortunate enough to attend the ceremonies that'll be happening in China. So I've been working with my counterpart at CIOS to try to figure out how we can continue to grow that alliance between both our students here and the students in our international programs. And within our virtual community, we obviously continue to grow within our virtual student senate. It's something that we are trying to iron out all the details, but we continue to see feedback that is vital to their success within the virtual education. Within transparency, we just want to be as open as possible and explain why we do things and what we really are. Oddly enough, we did a lot of this through Twitter. And if you haven't followed our Twitter account, I would definitely advise that you do. One of the things that we were able to do is grow our followership by over 15%. And as little as that seems, we've been able to grab students' attention by meaningless polls, funny pictures, and anything else that we can think of as being a college student. But it's definitely benefited us when we had something come up that we really need students' attention. In the fall, we sent out a survey about a potential dead week policy. We had over 1,200 recipients received the message that we were trying to push, and they gave us their feedback on what they would think would look good going into the future. This spring, as we were looking at open education resources, we did a similar plan. We sent out another survey, and we had over 700 responses. Because of this, we felt like we were at least helping these students get their message up, and we were obviously being open about what we were doing behind closed doors. And I hope that that'll just be what we do going forward. Again, it's hard to see this come to an end. Getting to this part wasn't the hardest part. It's definitely stepping away. But I definitely feel comfortable with the leadership that'll be coming in, as will be introduced later. But I will definitely be stepping into the role as an alum, giving back in any way possible, and I look forward to that challenge. So enjoy the last few days of the semester, and as always, go Tigers.
I hear Adam's invitation about joining Twitter, and I look up at the picture, and I think the younger version of myself may have taken that invitation, but the older, wiser, and much grayer version of myself knows better. than to do something like that. Thank you, Dr. Mason, for this opportunity, and good afternoon, President Mason, Interim Provost Briggs, I'm assuming he's out there somewhere, fellow faculty, esteemed staff, ladies and gentlemen. It has been my distinct honor and a high privilege to serve as the Faculty Senate President this academic year. Here now, I report to you a few highlights of the Senate's accomplishments. Immediately last fall, the Senate received from President Mason the proposed framework for the university's new strategic plan. Considered during a special meeting, I am proud to report the Faculty Senate was the campus's first body to endorse this new framework. Later in the fall, the Senate considered the work of the General Education Committee and its proposed replacement for the General Education Program, the Common Outcomes for Relevant Education, also known by its acronym, the CORE program. The Senate approved the framework for the CORE program, and the Senate will continue to work with the General Education Committee during CORE's implementation. This spring, the Senate's University Affairs Committee, in concert with the administration, selected a new system for course evaluation. It is planned that the system will be deployed later this fall. The Academic Affairs Committee reviewed numerous new course proposals and program changes, which were approved by the Senate, and along the way, the committee reviewed the CORE framework and a proposed change to the Kansas Board of Regents policy concerning baccalaureate credit hours. The Partnership and Technology Committee worked to keep the Senate abreast of developments in Workday, and it advised the Senate on the vibrant discussions surrounding the university's learning management system. An open educational resources proposal, as Adam detailed a little earlier, from the Kansas Board of Regents kept the Senate's Student Affairs Committee busy, and the committee is bringing forth its recommendations concerning this topic at next week's final Senate meeting. And the Strategic Planning and Improvement Committee continued its review of Senate bylaws and standing rules, and in the process, the Senate did clean up some of its language regarding its standing rules. It has been a very busy year, and I believe the Faculty Senate accomplished its main charge: to responsibly address all the necessary and important work of shared governance. All of this could not have been accomplished without the dedicated and very hard work of individual senators. Special recognition and many thanks are due to the chairs of the Senate's committees, Stephen Donnelly and Helen Miles, Amy Schmierbach, Jason Harper, Mike Martin, and Kevin Schleichel, who will, coincidentally, be next year's Faculty Senate President. Without them and without the indispensable efforts of the Senate Secretary, Lexi Bartlett, and its perennial parliamentarian, sounds kind of good, doesn't it? Perennial parliamentarian, Fred Britton, our Faculty Senate simply wouldn't work. Today I conclude my remarks as I did last fall. As long as the faculty, staff, and administration of FHSU continue to focus upon the one constant that brings us all together, our students, then our good faith efforts, and those good faith efforts of our students, will help achieve the success in life that education promises. My very best wishes to everyone in completing this academic year, and my continued best wishes to you in particular, Dr. Mason, for a long and successful tenure as president of Fort Hays State University. Thank you, and go Tigers.
Thank you so much. It's been really fun working with all of you, and I know that we've had that shared sense of really promoting Fort Hays State, as Tony said, for the students. I would also like to thank Jeanette Naylor-Tinknell, president of AAUP, for her service. Throughout this year, she has worked along my side, attended and participated in all cabinet meetings, helped me bring a new interest-based negotiating model to campus, and worked with Dr. Briggs and colleagues to improve tenure and promotion process. Jeanette, would you please come forward to accept my appreciation? A very small token. I'd also like to congratulate our new shared governance leaders. Kevin and Brad are both here. Would you please stand and wave? Thank you both for saying yes. I know it's a lot of work, but I'm really excited. I look forward to working with each of you and as a group through our President's Roundtable, which I really enjoy. Tenure. Talk about milestones. We have graduation and we have tenure. So proud of these colleagues. Would you please stand and be recognized once again? And those who were promoted. And I know the peer review process is one that is very difficult and of high quality. So for those of you who are present today, will you please stand to be recognized? Whoops. Ignore that slide. It's my honor to bring to the podium Dr. Paul Faber. It's kind of like the man behind the curtain, right?
Well, thank you, Dr. Mason, though you stole my thunder. Well, it is my pleasure to recognize 6 of our colleagues who have made exemplary contributions to the university this year. As part of the graduate report, I am presenting Outstanding Graduate Advisor Awards to 2 faculty for their scholarship, their leadership and research, and their mentoring of their graduate advisees. The first person to receive the Outstanding Graduate Advisor Award for 2018-2019 is Dr. Brooke Mann from the Department of Psychology, and the second is Dr. Fred Britton from the Department of Communication Sciences and Disorders. Would you please come forward? A new award has been established this year to recognize an individual who exemplifies excellence in contributing to our students' academic experience at a cross-border partner institution. The recipient of the new Cross-Border Educational Excellence Award will be recognized again in China later this month at the partner university. It is my pleasure to announce the recipient of this year's award is Dr. Jeff Bourgeois, Assistant Professor of Leadership Studies. Jeff teaches on the campus of CIAS University in Xinjiang, China. Dr. Brett Whitaker, the International Coordinator for Leadership Studies, will be accepting the award on Dr. Bourgeois' behalf today. Each semester, 3 of our colleagues are selected to receive the awards for outstanding teaching, outstanding scholarship, and outstanding service. With the help of Commerce Bank, these 3 individuals are provided an award of $500 in recognition of their efforts on campus, within the discipline, and in the community. In addition to the monetary award, the deans are providing an additional $250 in the budget of each recipient's department. We are very appreciative of Commerce Bank's continued support of our faculty and Fort Hays State University. Would the spring 2019 award winners please come forward when your names are announced? The recipient of this year's Outstanding Teaching Award is Dr. Lene Young, Professor of Mathematics. Next, the recipient of the Outstanding Scholarship Award this semester is Dr. Nicholas Caparuso, Assistant Professor of Informatics. Finally, the recipient of this semester's Outstanding Service Award is Dr. Elliot Isom, Assistant Professor of Advanced Education Programs. Congratulations to all of the award winners, Brooke, Fred, Jeff, Lene, Nick, and Elliot, and thank you for your continued commitment to our students and to the university. Please provide a last round of applause for all of the recipients.
Thank you, Dean Faber, and congratulations again to everyone. I also want to pause here to thank the retirees for their service and their friendship, and thank everyone that participated in the retirement luncheon we had a couple days ago. It was really great to see such a full room and really honor our colleagues that were leaving. So thank you, everyone, and congratulations to those who are here today. Every gift matters, and I'm thrilled to say, as of May 1, we have hit $85 million of our $100 million campaign. Thank you for giving your time, your talent, and your treasure to Fort Hays State University. Your generosity is helping us be accessible to those who seek education, unlocking potential, aligned with the democratic, economic, and social needs of our communities, our region, and the world. Following this convocation, a copy of the PowerPoint will be archived on the website under the Office of the President should you want to reference any of the slides. I want to thank the staffs of Beach Schmidt and URM for helping with our convocation today, and in particular, Luke LeCount, Matthias Carter, Scott Kaysen, Kelsey Stramel, Cindy Klein, Karen Allen, Jeff Bitterkoffer, and Jeanette Mice. I also want you to know that I truly remain inspired by each and every one of you. It's such a pleasure to visit the legislators, the regents, and the public about your extraordinary results. We have so much to celebrate, and I well recognize that our accomplishments are the result of the dedication of many, not one. I'm so proud of the work that you're doing and the impact that you have, particularly on our students and in our communities. Please join me, even if for a brief few minutes, because I know everyone is busy right now, for a reception in the lobby. But before we go, I want to close with a video celebrating who we are and what we do.
The future is calling. It calls from just over the horizon where the brilliant blue of the prairie sky meets the next hill. It calls for innovators ready to seize the torch of change and make the world a better place. The future calls for a leader with intelligence and unbridled optimism to meet any challenge, for those willing to roll up their sleeves and persevere until the job is done and done right. And it calls out to those who find joy in the tough work of creation. We are the future. We are Fort Hays State University, and we answer the call every day. And we are hungry for what's next. We deliver knowledge, breakthroughs through constant inquiry and experimentation. Our graduates go on to live lives dedicated to service and leadership as educators, entrepreneurs, artists, coaches, doctors, nurses, and corporate CEOs. We are the future. With the fighting spirit of a champion, we transform lives, encouraging and challenging each other to become better versions of ourselves. We make the most of what we have and look for new pathways to achievement, rising to meet and solve the challenges of today and tomorrow. We are the future. We are Fort Hays State University.